Howie Roseman is definitely shaking things up this offseason. This Chauncy Gardner-Johnson trade is definitely where we kick today's show off. The shocking news. Nobody saw this coming. Out of left field. This is Trending the AM. We're talking all things Eagles free agency and trades, I guess, live in 30 seconds.
Pop, 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 julep. Pop, 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 julep. Pop, 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 julep. Pop, 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 woo!
And a very good morning, everybody, and welcome to Trending in the AM, right here on the STT Sports Network. We are live, YouTube, Twitter, you know the drill. Like, share, subscribe, wherever you're at. Please do me that favor. Find the YouTube page if you're watching on Twitter, the STT Sports Network, and click subscribe, the race to 500 subscribers. We're getting there. We're less than 45 away from hitting that big goal of 500 subscribers, so please do that for me. Like, share it out, tell one, tell all, tell everybody. The STT Sports Network, the place to go for all your Philadelphia sports and sports in general conversations. The only place where your opinions actually matter. You don't got to pay for your opinions here. But, guys, please do that. Like and subscribe, guys. We got lots to talk about today. As free agency, as the NFL offseason is kicking into full gear, and the Eagles yesterday shocked the world, well, shocked the Eagles nation by trading the enforcer, the heartbeat, whatever you want to call it, Chauncy Gardner-Johnson, safety, off to the Houston Texans. And, you know, it's kind of funny. Today's show last year, to the exact date, was talking about Howie Roseman bringing Chauncy Gardner-Johnson back. And here we are this year on the same exact day talking about Chauncy Gardner-Johnson being shipped out. And I don't think many Eagles fans saw this one coming. I don't think I saw any Eagles fans say, see, I told you Chauncy would be gone. But he was traded to the Houston Texans for former first-round pick. Where's all my information? I can't even read my own notes here. Offensive lineman of the Houston Texans, Kenyon Green, 2022 15th overall pick. Started like 23 games in his career. Been injured, pretty much one of the worst guards in football, but we have Stoutland University, so plus we're swapping their sixth-round pick, or our sixth-round pick with their fifth-round pick next year. So we get off of Chauncy Gardner-Johnson to save cash, not cap space cash. We move on from him. Someone that was a key cog in the defense, but also a guy that has rubbed people the wrong way, a guy that might not have been perfectly fit in Fangio's system, a guy that was third in the NFL in interceptions, but most in touchdowns given up. A guy that hits big and hard, but also missed a shit ton of tackles, pardon my French. So the loss of Chauncy Gardner-Johnson because of the energy he brings is one thing. But Chauncy Gardner-Johnson, the player, is probably actually replaceable. Now, do the Eagles already have his replacement on the roster in Sidney Brown? I don't know. But I, unlike other Eagles fans, am not upset with this move. I see it as part of a bigger picture offseason. I see it as part of the plan to keep our young stud draft picks. I see it as a way, but let's just be honest. With great power comes great responsibility. With great drafting comes expensive extensions. And I think a lot of moves that are being done are thinking big picture. Next year, we've got our core. Our offense is set. A majority of our defense is set. But you've got Jalen Carter. You've got Cam Jurgens, Jordan Davis, Nolan Smith. You got a bunch of guys that are going to need big pay raises this offseason, next offseason, and beyond. And Chauncy Gardner-Johnson saves us nothing this year, but saves us like $5 million next year. And in 2027, saves us another $12 million. So we're picking up cap space in future years when these new extensions are going to have to kick in. So I don't think it's as bad of a deal as people think. And Howie said that this team next year would look massively different and that there were going to be some very tough decisions coming down the line here with the Eagles. And this is just one of those tough decisions. This is just one of those business decisions. And I am sure Vic Fangio was asked, can we fill this? I'm sure this move was not made without Vic Fangio saying, guys, it's okay. We've got a plan in place. I'm sure Kenyon Green wasn't brought in if Jeff Stoutland didn't think, yo, I see something there. I fixed Mekhi Becton. Let me fix Kenyon Green now. So I think the Eagles have a plan. And I'm going to do it. We do it all the time in this time of the year. I'm going to preach patience. I am not going to overreact like a lot of the people are out there. What is up, Little G? How you doing this morning? Hope you are well. Steven Fuentes says, Eagles are losing way too many guys. Relax, Steven. Not feeling good about it. Work conference. Okay. Semi-liability and red zone coverage. He was often out of place, Chauncy Gardner Johnson. Missed tackles, whatever. Boom, bust player. But that's replaceable. Kenny Gainwell's gone. He's gone to Pittsburgh. So Will Shipley, running back 2, is now in full effect. How did Eagles afford to pay Barkley? They made the money up there. Good morning, Deebs. What's up? Oh, thank you very much. Yes, for those that are watching, we got the word from my wife's doctor on Monday afternoon. No cancer. I'm just beaming on the inside. We're just so happy right now. 4 months of stressing out over my wife's health is all over for now. So fantastic news, and thank you very much. Greatly appreciate it because it's been very stressful for the last 4 months dealing with doctors and appointments and just the waiting game. And now we are in the clear. No cancer. That's all that mattered. When we heard that word, that's all that mattered. That is all that mattered. As long as I have breath, I will root for the downfall. Stop. Whatever. Good morning, Judd. What's up? How you doing? Good morning, Anthony. Thank you very much. It don't matter. The Eagles could trade Jalen Hurts right now, and I wouldn't care because I'm just happy with the news of the wife. So that is all that really matters. In the grand scheme of things, sports is just fun. This show and overreacting to the Eagles is just fun. So right now, I'm just happy. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yes, it was that serious, and we got the clear. So, yeah. So if I've been off, that's might be a little reason why I've been off the last 4 months. What's up, Davey? I'm 100% whatever Howie is doing. We have so much young talent on the D. Looking forward to the draft. Yeah, look, Howie Roseman. So a lot of people are arguing on social media, Davey, that you can't criticize the moves because some of us are saying have faith in Howie. I'm not saying you can't question moves. I'm just saying wait to overreact till the offseason's over, till week 1 comes around. Because there is so much going to happen over the next 4, 6, 8 weeks to this roster. Just losing Chauncy Gardner Johnson does not mean we're going to go out there with Seen and Brown, and that's it, and McCullum. They're going to bring somebody else in. Kenyon Green does not mean Mekhi Becton is not coming back. It just means that we got another developmental piece on the offensive line. There's so much going to go on. And obviously today, tomorrow, next week, when Dallas Goedert gets cut or traded, everyone's going to freak out. It's a business. And sometimes tough business decisions have to be made. But I have faith because Howie Roseman's built 3 Super Bowl teams in the last 8 years that Howie Roseman has a plan to replace these guys. Howie Roseman's spoken to his coaches and scouts how to replace these guys. You can't spend, what did we spend last year? $120 million on 3 free agents. You can't do that every year. You never win the Super Bowl on day 1 of free agency. You win the Super Bowl by having a plan, short-term and long-term. And that's what Howie has. Lots of noise around moving on from Goddard. I've been saying Goddard since I stopped talking about the Super Bowl. Actually, probably before the Super Bowl, I was talking about, that it was possibly Dallas Goedert's last game in Midnight Green. I've seen the writing on the wall for a long time. Do I want to lose Dallas Goedert? No. But again, it's a business, and I understand the reason behind it. Thank you. Thank you. Isaiah Rodgers. Rodgers is gone too, and Isaiah Rodgers is replaceable to an extent. There was a ton of turnover on defense last year, and Vic Fangio squashed all those concerns with a historic defense. Fangio deserves the benefit of the doubt. Exactly, Deeps. There is zero doubt in my mind that Howie Roseman went to Vic Fangio and be like, yo, I got an opportunity to move Chauncy Gardner-Johnson. We need the money freed up. Are we good with X, Y, and Z options? And Vic Fangio could have said, no, I want this guy. Let me tell you something about Chauncy Gardner-Johnson. And I don't think that this is talked about enough with Chauncy Gardner-Johnson. Chauncy Gardner-Johnson is now going to the Houston Texans. And that is going to be 5 years in a row that he's changed teams. He went from the Saints to the Eagles, Eagles to the Lions, Lions back to the Eagles, now Eagles to the Texans. 5 years in a row, a team has decided to move on from him. What does that say about the player? Hey, he's a good player. We like him. But he's replaceable. Ringo stinks. Well, we don't know that. We don't know that at all. Yeah. I also think it's super exciting to watch a young defense grow together. You would think more Eagles fans would be excited about that. Deebs, you would think with the loss of Chauncey Gardner-Johnson that we still didn't have Jalen Carter. Every Eagles fan said, all we want is Zach Bond back. We've got Zach Bond back. We still got Quinion Mitchell, Cooper DeJean. We still got Reed Blankenship. We still got the court. Everyone's all excited about Moro Jomo until we lose players, and they're like, well, now we have nobody. Have faith. Nolan Smith, Jalix Hunt. This team, I don't think there's a single starter over 26 years old now on this Eagles defense, technically. It's crazy. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson's a nice player. He's a fun player. But the numbers don't lie. He's boom, bust to the extreme. He's very, very replaceable. Hence why 5 teams have now replaced him. Yeah, Rick, don't worry about that. He's just trolling and doing his thing this morning. There's really no point in evaluating this from short term this early in the process. Exactly. I think I'm more evaluating the overreaction news from the fan base than I am from what Howie Roseman is choosing to do. Because if you read the feelings and the emotions from Eagles Nation on social media, you'd think we just lost Saquon Barkley and Jalen Hurts. You'd think the team was moving to Arizona now. How frustrated they are about Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. And again, not knocking the kid. I like him. He's a nice player. I think it's funny that, again, I said this in the cold open. Today, last year, we were having the same conversation because today, last year's show was the day after we brought Chauncey Gardner-Johnson back. And I question bringing Chauncey Gardner-Johnson back because of his personality, his attitude, his boom-bust potential. Now, he helped us win a Super Bowl. Absolutely. 2 of the last 3 years, we've gone to the Super Bowl. Those 2 years, we had Chauncey. The year we didn't in the middle, we did. So, sure, I get it. He hits big. He's a firecracker. I get it. But he's replaceable. We still got Vic. Yeah, I mean, you got a young defense that loves and listens to Vic Fangio, one of the greatest defensive minds of all time. Trust it. Trust in it. Trust that there's a plan. Now, what that plan is, I don't know yet at safety. I know a lot of people are like, oh, it's Sidney Brown time. Maybe. Not sure about that. You got Sign, however you say it. You got McCullum. You got free agents, maybe Justin Simmons, his name's floating around. As I say that, next comment, Justin Simmons might be the Eagles' safety. Look, maybe they bring him in. They wanted to bring him in last year for Vic Fangio. Maybe they do that this year. There's going to be more than just the guys on the roster at safety. The Howie way is build a defense through the draft. When expensive, you can replace and draft and safety. You can replace, yes, but you also can't replace because you also drafted 3 talents in Jalen Carter, Quinion Mitchell, and Cooper DeJean, which you're not going to let them go and replace them. They'll get paid. So Howie's thinking 3 years down the line, 2 years down the line, and this year. He's thinking about all the guys that need to get paid as well. Did BG officially retire? Yeah, he has not officially retired or officially announced that he's coming back, from my knowledge. I thought after the Super Bowl there was a chance he would come back. And then hearing that he tore his tricep again in the Super Bowl, I don't know. I think I wouldn't mind him coming back because of how young our defense is, but I also wouldn't mind him just calling it a career and not risking, hurting himself any further. Would have been nice to bring Kellen Moore back, however, not sure about this new guy, Kevin Patullo. Yeah, I mean, that's something. We talked a lot about that weeks ago. I would have liked the continuity, but Patullo brings that continuity as well. Has not called plays, but that's my only concern is the fact that Kevin Patullo has not called plays in the NFL. Tight end is easily replaceable in draft. Maybe. We'll see. Howie makes moves in each wave of free agency. He's not done. Absolutely not done. He is now the only player or the only coach or blah, 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 blah. He's the only GM not to bring in. Out of the 32 NFL teams, only the Eagles have not added an external free agent yet. But that'll change. The people are freaking out. Oh, the Eagles are the last ones to make a move. What's Howie doing? He's ruining this team. Relax. 3 Super Bowls in 8 years, 2 championships. Relax. CJ's impact wasn't on the field. Yeah, I mean, his impact was on the field and off the field. I mean, his personality will be missed, and he's being much more mature about leaving this time than last time. So I get that as well. The Eagles' way is ensure stars in offense by paying big. Yeah. Where Becton going? I'm shocked that Mekhi Becton hasn't gotten signed anywhere yet. I'm not sure if he's overvaluing his market or something else. Not really sure about what's going on with Mekhi Becton and why it's taking so long. All this defense needs is a vet. Yeah, that could be your Brandon Graham situation. That was that Deebs mentioned it before. I'm not sure. Ringo has all the physical tools on the planet, even to play safety, but his hips are bad. He has to work on turning the right way if he's going to be a star in the league. Exactly, and I'm not sold 100% that he's the guy. I'm not. I know he's going to get a chance to prove he's the guy. We'll see, though. Good morning, Adam. What's up? Let Howie cook. He will get his players. Exactly. Howie's cooking up. Howie's cooking for the next 3 to 4 years. Howie's cooking because we have a Super Bowl window. And his goal is to have as many opportunities of winning that Super Bowl as possible. Tyler Steen is our Jewish right guard. Tyler Steen is probably the starting right guard at this point. Probably is. He'll battle with Kenyon Green if we do not sign Mekhi Becton. I'm still not sold. Not sold that Mekhi Becton is 100% gone because of this trade. I still think the Eagles want to bring Becton back. You need depth on that offensive line. A lot of casuals will shut up real quick if the Eagles add any of those names in the draft, 3 stud safeties who would be perfect additions. Yeah, I mean, hold on. Let me see. What was my mock draft? I think I drafted a safety. I did a mock draft this morning. Where was it? Where was my mock draft this morning? Trying to find my mock draft from this morning. There it is. Okay, who did I draft? I drafted Watts in the second round. That was the guy that I drafted in the second round on my mock draft today. So, yeah. I hope Goddard is around for another season or 2, but it is a deeper draft for tight ends this year. Yeah, look. I would love Dallas Goddard to stay an Eagle for life. Love the guy. But again, just like Chauncy Gardner-Johnson is a great player, he's not a great player that's not replaceable. Dallas Goddard's the same thing. Dallas Goddard's a great player, but he is replaceable. Jalen Hurts is not replaceable. Saquon Barkley's not replaceable. Lane Johnson, not replaceable. Jalen Carter, not replaceable. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, Dallas Goddard, they're replaceable. I think you're onto something, Gamer Jay, probably annoying to team. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson's got some personality issues. Yeah, we already said it. Sorry, you're going to have to come up with a new player to pretend to be the burner account of. Kenny G is gone. Sorry. Sweat went to Arizona on a near $80 million deal. That is a deal that Arizona Cardinals are going to massively regret. Guys, we're finally crossed the 20 concurrent viewers on YouTube today. So make sure if you're watching on YouTube, you hit that like button and that subscribe button. And please, if you've already done that, please click the share button. We started the show at 457 subscribers. Can we get to 460 in the next hour? I'd greatly appreciate it, guys. So like, subscribe, share, appreciate it. Good riddance to Kenny Gainwell. Yeah, exactly. Howie, actually, you know what? It's funny. You see these Kenny Gainwells. I think Kenny Gainwell is kind of an underrated Eagle, honestly. I mean, he's not a starting NFL running back. They're gonna try that in Pittsburgh. But let's be honest, in his role, he was a good blocker. He took advantage of his opportunities. He earned the right to get a chance to start elsewhere in the NFL. Howie's talked about everywhere as the template. And no one seems to be able to master what Howie does. Kenyon Green was a first-round pick with a ton of upside. Absolutely. He struggled in Houston, obviously. Stoutland going to make him a Pro Bowler someday. It was a good trade for the Eagles. Just going to take a little time. Exactly. No one thought Becton was going to be Becton. But he spent an entire offseason working under Stout, and look what we got. So I'm not worried that Kenyon Green couldn't turn it. And again, I'm sure Howie's like, hey, Stout, I got the opportunity to pick up Kenyon Green. Yay or nay? Can you make him something? And if Stout said, no, that guy stinks, Howie doesn't make that trade. Watts is nice, great cover guy, elite ball hawk. Yeah. Go check out my draft on my Twitter page, Deebs, real quick, and then come back and grade it for me. I did a very trade-heavy mock draft. Wheeled and dealed a lot in it, but picked up a boatload of players, a boatload of depth players, a boatload of developmental players. But I would love your thoughts on my mock draft that I put on Twitter this morning. Kenny Gainwell is not replaceable now. Sorry. Will Shipley, running back 2. Just like Tanner McKee is now quarterback 2, Will Shipley is now running back 2. The big difference in losses in 23 and 25 is we learned and signed the top tackler from the class. In 23, we lost our top 5 tacklers, which was unacceptable. Exactly. Very true. Sorry, I am late. You're not late. You're on the time. You arrived exactly when you wanted to arrive. This is a move for the future. The man probably wanted to be paid, and Howie knows he can't. Absolutely. It's 100% a 3-year move. This is a move because of Jalen Carter, because of Quinion Mitchell, because of Nolan Smith, because of Cooper DeJean. That is why you make this move. 12 more. Yeah, I mean, 12 more to your number, 13 or 43 more to my number. But yeah, means we haven't gained a new subscriber yet today. Chauncy is an above-average player. He ain't no filet mignon. Yeah, exactly. He's a really good, talented player. He's a guy that helps you win a Super Bowl. But he's not a guy you cannot replace. He can be replaced. The Eagles didn't lose Slay or CJ. Slay was cut, and CJ was dumped for the second time. Look, Slay was 100% a financial decision. And honestly, maybe there's still that slight thought that, maybe there's a slight thought that he comes back still, but whatever. And Chauncy was dumped for the second. I talked about it, Barb. 5 years in a row, his team got rid of him. He is now going to his 5th team in 5 years. Just if you can't, people can't comprehend what that says about a person's skill set and personality and quality. Like, how does a guy get traded, moved 5 times? See the Randy Reddy of the NFL now? Really going way back to the Randy Reddy comparison there. Only a few listeners will get the Randy Reddy thing. The CJ trade hurt, but we need you. CJ wasted an extension, and they said no. Look, Tiger, thanks for tuning in on Twitter. Maybe you could head on over to the YouTube page, STT Sports Network. Hit subscribe over there. But the CJ trade, it hurts. But it's not fixable. And it's part of a bigger plan. And I'm all for the bigger plan. Kenny Pickett will be hard to place. Look, I saw something, from, I think it was John Bacard a few minutes ago. We traded Kenny Pickett for a 5th-round pick. So now Tanner McKee is the backup quarterback. We've got literally like 1,400 5th-round picks now over the next 2 years. A lot of people want to see the Eagles trade Bryce Huff. Maybe they get off of Bryce Huff by including a couple of those 5th-round picks in a trade of Bryce Huff. Just saying. Maybe that's how you get off of Bryce Huff. You picked up another one from Kenny Pickett. You picked up another one in this Texans trade. Maybe that's what happens. Kenyon Green stinks. He's more likely to be on the practice squad. He's not the guy to start. Steen would be the guy to start if Mekhi Becton. But I have confidence in Jeff Stoutland. turning Kenyon Green has a pedigree. Kenyon Green was 20 years old when he was drafted 15th overall. Put Kenyon Green. There are guys coming out in this year's draft. The age of Kenyon Green now and is going into his 4th NFL season. So you've got a year before you got to pick up the 5th-year option. You give a year of just Stoutland coaching this guy up, and you see what happens. He also wasn't a right guard. He was a left guard. So there's a lot of work to do there. I highly doubt, but I said this about Becton last offseason. I highly doubt Green starts week 1. But you never know what Stoutland does. It was a straight-up salary dump. It was a salary dump. Absolutely. Absolutely. It still doesn't change some of the other philosophies of him. Last 3 years, CJ's teams went to the championship game or further. Maybe. I think it was more coincidental. Dear chat, Mitchell, very good. Cooper, goated. Ringo, whatever. Kenyon Green is a bad athlete and doesn't fit their typical mode. Don't waste your time on him. Wow, Dives is really, really 100% out on the Kenyon Green redemption story here in Philadelphia. If Mekhi Becton can do it, so can Kenyon Green. Maybe just not instantly. Will Shipley, quietly an incredibly talented young running back, learning from a future Hall of Famer in Saquon. I already said it. Well, now I doubt it a little bit, but I said it before that Will Shipley would have replaced Saquon at the end of his contract, but them giving him the extra extension, maybe not. But look, Will Shipley's a solid running back 2 option. Now, I expect them to add a 3rd running back, of course, but Will Shipley will be good there. Did I quote Gandalf? When did I quote Gandalf? Did I quote Gandalf the Gray or Gandalf the White? I don't even remember quoting him. How did I quote him? Davey, fill me in. I missed my own joke and quote went right over my own head. That's bad when that's where I'm at. Despite re-tearing the tricep, I think Brandon Graham is back. I mean, we could use the veteran presence on defense. There's no doubt about it, for sure. You shall not pass. Did I say that? You shall not pass. Interesting. Let's get 30. I would love 30 concurrent viewers. Today, we're in that 21-24 range a lot. So let's get that like button share. The more people that hit the like button, the more people that subscribe and share, the more people that tune in. CJ equals the Brooklyn brawler of wrestling. Always a heel, but sticks around the league for a long. I would put him in the European title category. He would have been competing against D'Lo Brown for the European Championship. So yeah. And ain't you just use a 3rd on Kenny? What? Kenny was played 4 years here in Philadelphia. No, Kenny was done. It was a while ago. If you were a true Philadelphia Eagles geek, you would know Chauncy went live on Instagram a month ago with a rapper talking about, all the weed he was smoking. I didn't see that part. I did see him talk about, though, how he realizes that it's a business and there was a chance he was going to go. He's not playing the pissed off player role like he did 2 years ago when we got rid of him, where he was trash talking Eagles and Eagles fans and stuff. He realizes, at least he's grown up a little bit to realize it is a business. Were you surprised Kenny Pickett got traded? No, I wasn't surprised. I was preferring Tanner McKee because the 5th-round pick you got for Kenny Pickett and Dorian Thompson-Robinson, I mean, it's nice, but I think you could have gotten a lot more if you traded Tanner McKee. Can't tell me that Cleveland wouldn't have offered a 3rd or a 2nd for McKee over the 5th for Pickett. I don't know. But you had to move one of the 2 quarterbacks and get something in return. So you got your quarterback 3 to develop, and you've got another 5th-round pick. We've got 5 5th-round picks. So I'm not shocked that Kenny Pickett was traded. I just would have preferred McKee because I think Kenny Pickett's a perfect backup. McKee's a guy that could start in the NFL. Kenny Green was 4th-string on the Texans. He was a starter. Started 9 games this year. He started 24 games in his career. We need to build through the draft. Most of the guys on the market this year are old, and there's really no youth. Yeah, honestly, I think the depth in free agency this year, there's a lot of really bad contracts going out to, in that 28 to 31-year-old range to guys that are pretty average. Now, I haven't looked at next year's free agent class, but I think this year's free agent class is pretty mediocre. And Howie's MO is to build through the draft. And it's worked, Tiger. You build through the draft, and then you add pieces like Saquon when necessary. You find developmental or guys in like Zach Bond last year that take the next step in their career. That's what you do. Every university needs new enrollment to stay in business. I love that line. Noobs, I love it. I love it. And that's what we did. We're enrolling a new person in the University of Stoutland. I was surprised Gainwell got traded. Gainwell did not get traded. He signed as a free agent with Pittsburgh. He was a free agent. Kenny Gainwell was leaving 100%. He wanted an opportunity to play somewhere where he wouldn't be playing behind Saquon Barkley. There is no doubt in my mind that he was going. So that was not shocking in the least bit to me, Adam. Not giving up on Huff. A lot of people shit on Nolan Smith and Brandon Graham after one season. See, the thing is, Nolan Smith, this isn't one season. This will be Bryce Huff's 5th season in the NFL. He's had one good year out of 5. Okay? So I'm all for the Bryce Huff redemption story, Rick, but I also would not be against them finding a way to get off that contract because he is making over $50 million. Well, his contract was 3-year, $51 million. He is making $18 million this year. So I would not be against them trading him, but also on the flip side, I'm not out on him redeeming himself. I was more than surprised at him. Yeah. Sorry. Oh, what's up, Peanut? How you doing? Been a panic session like I thought. It's been, I think, actually relatively not panicky in this chat like the rest of social media it is. As we're almost at 30 concurrent viewers. We got 28 people in the YouTube room. That means there should be 28 likes on this video right now. So please like, subscribe, share. I'd greatly appreciate it. Kenny Pickett got traded because Tanner played well enough to find. I get Tanner McKee played well, but isn't Tanner McKee a guy that a team might want to consider as a starter? I would think so. Kenny Pickett's not going to be a starter in the NFL. He's going to compete to start to be a bridge in Cleveland, but he ain't a starter. And Mekhi Becton had elite measurables, not the same. Maybe. I mean, I don't remember the draft from Kenyon Green a few years ago. I mean, he was the 15th pick in the draft. That tells me he's got some form of a skill set there, some talent. And I'm also going to say that, coming into the NFL at 20 years old is tough. So I'm not going to write off Kenyon Green yet, Steve. I'm being as positive as humanly possible today. I am feeling the positivity. I've got so much good positive vibes from my personal life that I'm feeling the positivity on everything. Kenyon Green is a project, but dude is a player and eventually Pro Bowler down the line. That's right. See, I'm feeling it, Rick, like you. Maybe my personal stuff is seeping into my mindset right now, but I'm feeling it. Green was a first. He must have some. Yeah, exactly. He's got to have some physical skills. Exactly. Now, I will say Deebs is a great talent evaluator. He's great with his draft content. Also, I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, thank you. That's why I'm so positive today, Peanut. It just makes me so much happier. I don't get to hear Maddie say CJGJ, GJ. Can't always hope the mid or bust players all of a sudden become good like Becton and Bond. Yeah, I get that. That's a very fair comment, Barb. And, I mean, you could be talking about Green with that. You could be talking about that with a lot of guys. I get that. And that's fair. But the track record shows more often than not that the Eagles coaching staff has been able to turn people around. So I'm willing to give Green that chance to develop. Huff, I'm kind of on the fence on with Bryce Huff. Becton's RAS score was 9.85. Green's was what? Then why was he a 15th pick overall? Like what got him the top half of the first round? Did you just shoot? No. We drafted Kenyon Gainwell like 4 years ago. In my opinion, Shipley will be bust. Well, your opinion don't mean jack. Gandalf, you arrived precisely when. Oh, is that the line? I'm really far behind on my comments. I really got to power through comments here. I didn't even realize I used it. I use that all the time in life, that line. Gandalf, no doubt about it. Is that what it is? In youth we trust. Absolutely. Sandman thinks CJ is the only player on the Eagles who smokes weed. Yeah. Yeah. How many on free agents so far? All we have to decide is what to do with the time that is given to us. Oh, man. Joey Bosa. Why won't BG retire? Does he owe gambling debt to the Stiefel? He might owe me a few pennies. Yeah, maybe. I'm trying. I'm making eye contact today. I am. I'm working on it. A lot of Negadelphians hanging around today. Meanwhile, Eagles just won a Super Bowl a month ago, by the way. Just because we won the Super Bowl doesn't mean we don't want another Super Bowl. Just remember that, okay? Just because we won one Super Bowl doesn't mean that fans can't want another one next year, okay? But it is going to be all right. This is a stark running back class in the draft. There will be guys all over the place available on day 3. Absolutely agree. Fun fact, there was NFL football before 2017, was there? I'm not sure. Hey, Jesse, how you doing? I love the picture. Thanks for your comment. Your takes are reasonable, not reactionary. Hey, this is what we do every day, 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. We take reasonable conversations, and everybody's opinion matters. We don't all agree, but we all discuss it in a very reasonable way. At least we try to. Occasionally a troll seeps in. I want Cam Scabato in the draft. I am not a draft specialist. That is not my special, thing. I don't know all the young players. But I'm sure there's some people that are like, oh, we've gained 2 new subscribers today. All right, 459. 41 to go. Phil's takes are replaceable. K1. Always kicking a man. When he's high, you kick him back down. Cam would be a fun day 3 selection. I would have traded McKee for sure. I would have traded McKee. I know it's an unpopular opinion, but I would have. Pickett got dumped because he sucks and he does. So does Kevin Stefanski. But Kenny Pickett's not a good quarterback. But he's a good enough backup quarterback. That's all I'm going to say. Let the positivity flow. I'm feeling it, man. I'm feeling it today. It's so positive. His name is going to be Rick. I'm feeling very positive today. Okay? To be fair, I also had first-round grade on Kenyon Green. He's just a mess right now and needs a ton of work. So that's why he's going to be a backup. He is not the starting right guard in 2025. Dear Phil, would you take Von Miller for super cheap? I'm torn on the Von Miller for super cheap. Honestly, am I crazy for saying I'd rather Brandon Graham one more year for super cheap than Von Miller? Von Miller's probably still the better player. Von Miller has had some personal issues outside of football, but he's still a quality player. Yeah, maybe. Elite run blocker. Don't we run block a lot? Don't we need a good run blocker? Don't we run our offense through the running game? Just saying. Say shadow of a doubt. See, I just said it. Eagles win 3 of the next 7 Super Bowls. I'm going to line that shit up. Okay, Rick? I'm all for it. We want to coach the Cowboys so we can shut up the cockroaches for good. Still bleating about the 5 rings before any of us were even born. Exactly. Let's face it, it's not like we lost Ronnie Lott. Exactly. It's not like, yeah, he was the heartbeat. He was that tough guy. Ronnie Lott cut his finger off in the middle of halftime so he could go back out and play the second half of a football game. I mean, he didn't literally cut it off. He had it amputated. But we're not talking about Ronnie Lott here. We're not talking about a Hall of Famer. Phillies win the World Series. I did write down a note. I know Barb likes to talk to Phillies too. Matt Strahm got injured, Rick. The wording in the injury with Matt Strahm scares me for Matt Strahm and the depth of our bullpen in general. So that concerns me a little bit. Stop. Believe it or not, Bryce Huff drew a lot of double teams when he played. Did you know Jalen Carter recorded all his sacks before Huff got injured? I did not know that. I'm not going to fact check you. I'm going to believe you missed on that one. Kenny Pickett got a ring before Josh Allen. Don't forget that. Kenny Pickett's got more rings than Josh Allen, Dak Prescott, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Justin Herbert. Just remember that. Kenny Pickett has thrown more passes in the Super Bowl than Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Dak Prescott, Justin Herbert. Don't forget that one either. Rick might be fat top undercover. Strand injury nuts. But the wording of what they said, and it sounded like, I forget, I didn't know we'd get to Phillies today because of the Eagles free agency, but the wording they used made it sound like something that could linger and be a problem. And no offense, the Phillies do not have a closer. The Phillies have a really suspect bullpen with the back end of it, in my opinion. A lot of 7th and 8th inning guys, maybe a lot of 6th and 7th inning guys. Strahm was going to be relied on If he's got a lingering arm issue throughout the year, that's a big hit to our bullpen. Just my opinion. It just was announced like a day or two ago, Barb. So they don't expect them to be ready for the start of the season now with it. So that's a big deal. Bryce Huff drew double teams. Oh my! I don't remember seeing too many double teams, but I like Mista. I'm going to trust Mista and his opinion. My Dom is very. Phil will cut his bazzoon hoot off. No, I will not. No, but you have a bazzoon hoot kind of day, K1. All right. I actually do like Christian Bazzoon. It's actually Bazzoden Hoot, or I forgot. I was practicing how to say his name right, but then I kind of went right back to Bazzoon Hoot. I do actually like Christian Bazzoon Hoot as a bet at the Players' Championship this week, just so you know. Great long shot bet. I think I got him 80-1, 90-1. Bryce Huff was getting pancaked by backup tight ends. Yeah. I don't think Bryce Huff was very good. Look, I brought it up last year when we signed Bryce Huff on this very show when we were on the previous network. Well, that would have been 2 networks ago, that I was concerned that Bryce Huff was a one-hit wonder. I brought it up. Maybe I was right. Please tweety that out to Bills fans. What? The only double teams Bryce Huff was drawing was it frat parties? Maybe. I really like Cam Scabato, but he's 23, and I wonder why he had to play 5 years in college. He might be on PEDs. It's kind of weird. Like you get somebody like Kenyon Green, who's entering his 4th year in the NFL, same age and younger than some of the guys coming out in the draft this year. Phil throwing a party, bada bings when we no. I'm not really a bada bing guy. I'm more of a club risque guy. Kirkring is the closer now. 35 saves. Look, I think Orion Kirkring can be a closer. Is he ready? I don't know. Is Rob Thompson ready to commit to just one? Definitely not. I will see Kirkring sometimes. I could see Alvarado sometimes. I could have seen Strom sometimes getting those closing spots. It just depends. I'm not sure how the bullpen is going to play out this year. The bullpen is probably my biggest concern with the Phillies. Not the hitting, which I criticize regularly. In the regular season, the bullpen is a concern for me. Guy for the Birds, check him out. You want me to try? Is that a misspelled name there? BHYS Baishul Tutin? It doesn't even sound like a real name. It doesn't. Sounds like not right. Another running back to watch is Brashard Smith. You know way too much about way too many people in the NFL draft. But I love it. Oh my God, people will vilify a player for one bad lowlight and don't even know the context of the play. Did Jose Alvarado go to Adderall? I don't know. Jose Alvarado got jacked in the offseason. He did. I love Jose Alvarado. He's got the personality of a closer. I just don't know if he's consistent enough to be a closer. I think he's the perfect 8th inning guy. The problem is, just like we've got a lot of first base and DH, we got a lot of 7th and 8th inning guys in the bullpen. I guess Tiger Woods had a setback. Yeah, Tiger Woods is done for the year, Adam. Tiger Woods tore his Achilles, warming up, practicing, getting ready for the Masters in a month. So the Achilles injury is normally like a year recovery. And with the way your feet move on when you swing a golf club, yeah, we won't see Tiger Woods this year on the PGA Tour. We won't, unfortunately. Tiger Woods is great for the game of golf. Tiger Woods also is being held together by duct tape, plain and simple. I got a Kirkland City Connect jersey for this year. I'm so excited. Are they changing the Philly City Connects this year? Or are they still rolling with the blue and yellow? Which I thoroughly actually like those jerseys, like most did. Who is the jack of all sports but ace in none? Hint, it rhymes with prick. Who is the jack of all sports? What? I'm missing that. Tiger's been done for but he's still been trying to play. He's still fun to watch. To remember, you see him out there, it's fun. But it is kind of time for him to head on over to the senior tour and just tee it up at the Masters every year. Random thought: when is Tiger Woods 1 getting into the PGA? Is he any good? When is Tiger Woods 1 getting into the PGA? I mean, Tiger Woods is the greatest of all time. Still, Still the blue and yellow. I love the blue and yellow. I do. I think you're so. I would take the blue and yellow over the Kelly green any day and Sunday. I love it. I'm a big blue guy. I mean, half my wardrobe is blue. Probably 60% of it's different shades of blue. I love blue. So I love it a lot. Well, I mean, that's just your opinion, man. Topper never gives anyone a role in the bullpen. Exactly. Bullpen guys are creatures of habit, Adam. They want to know when that phone rings, whether it's their turn or not. I like set roles in bullpens personally. Tiger Woods' injuries point to previous steroid use. I don't know if Tiger Woods really was ever into steroids. I know he was a jacked guy. There were stories in the very early part of Tiger Woods' career. He got jacked because he went and spent, a month, 2 months, I forget what it was, training with special forces and Marines and stuff like that to learn how to, he just wanted to be the most jacked, strong, ripped guy on tour. He wanted to be a middle linebacker playing golf. I don't know about the steroid part. Did he do other kind of drugs? Yeah. But I don't know about the steroid use. Connect jersey may be as bad as Dancing with My Own needs to go. City jerseys for all teams need to go. Brickin' for Chicken needs to go. Ringing the Bell needs to go. The Rocky theme song in key moments needs to go. I want a complete wash of all things Philly sports. Jack still has 18 majors. Oh, he does. He does. There ain't no about that. I never want to hear Dancing on My Own again. Just makes me think of Coming Up Short. Yeah, absolutely. 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 They played the Brewers in those jerseys and was hard to follow. That would make sense. That's true. Woody Harrelson is on Rogan. Well, go listen to it then. I'm not telling you have to stay here. If you want to promote Joe Rogan's podcast, go for it. Go watch that instead. Who cares about the UFL? Nobody cares. It's NFL free agency. The Eagles have made a huge trade. Chauncy Gardner-Johnson for Kenyon Green and a pick swap. Baseball season's around the corner. The Players' Championship is happening. The Sixers still refuse to shut down Paul George for the season. The Sixers can't even lose properly. And you want to talk about the UFL. Who the fuck is this guy? Who invited this guy? If this was the $100,000 pyramid, you would have been listing things that are played out. Dude, I'm telling you, I could go on and on, Nooms, things that are played out, in my opinion, in just Philadelphia sports alone. I could go on and on and on. Kelly Green. On and on and on. Some people would say I'm played out too, but that's another subject. How long will they let Trey lead off before? I've asked this question, Barbara, once. I've asked it 100 times. As soon as Trey Turner struggles or Kyle Schwarber struggles in the 4-hole for a week, does Rob Thompson panic, switch them back and say, well, I just want to jumpstart their game, and then leaves it like that for the rest of the year? Until I see it go for months, I won't believe it. Until I see it game one, I don't believe it's happening. But yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, K1. I think this is a lot more entertaining than anything else that's on TV right now. DTR should be UFL. Oh, yeah, Dorian Thompson-Robinson. I mean, I know they got Dorian Thompson-Robinson and a fifth for Kenny Pickett. I would have rathered anything else. Like, he's a super cheap third-string quarterback. He's owed $2 million over the next 2 years. But he's really bad, DTR. Like, really, really bad. Couldn't you have gotten a fourth instead of a fifth and a player? Isn't there somebody else? Don't they have, like, a backup safety? Like, DTR is a bad quarterback. But just like we have Stoutland University, supposedly we're a quarterback factory. So maybe the Eagles feel like they can fix DTR or make them better. I don't know. Grayson. Thompson has no spine. I don't like him. Barb, it's not that I don't like Rob Thompson. I like Rob Thompson. I think it would be so much fun to go sit down at a bar, have a beer, and talk baseball with Rob Thompson. Baseball lifer. But do I like his managerial style? Not at all. Not in the least bit. Do I think Rob Thompson holds the Phillies back from winning a World Series the last 3 years? Partly to blame. Absolutely. Do I think they should have moved on from him? Absolutely. Hey, Bart, before you started following me, after the Phillies lost in the World Series in 2022, on this very show, do you know what I said? I said they did not have to give him an extension. They needed to interview before they took that interim tag off of him. I said, do not lock Rob Thompson up because it's not a guarantee that he needs to be here. It was a crazy take. I know. One that did not make me any fans, but one that I still stand by. He's a good manager, not a great manager. Love and lockup. No, I'm not looking that up. Tiger Woods' affection for cocktail waitresses. He clearly has a drinking problem. That's probably why he gets injured so often. I don't know if he still has the drinking problem. I don't know if he still has the loose women problem. But he's got a lot of reasons. I think that Marines and Special Forces training in his body frame probably was part of the problem as well. I need content for you after the show. Look, it's all good. You do what you got to do, my man. I agree with you on time. Look, it's one of my least popular takes I've ever had from the masses. And I'm often called on Twitter, Barb. I'm called a Rob Thompson hater. Not a hater. I just see through it all. Jesse Palmer says the Eagles were in on KC safety Justin Reed, but he chose to take more money from the Saints. Yeah, I think I saw that rumor before the show as well. I think something I saw like $22 million was on the table, Anthony, for him from the Eagles. But look, I see them getting a Justin Simmons one-year deal type player. I see them drafting another player, and they'll have Reed Blankenship, the veteran safety, the draft pick, and then the rest of the guys that they already got. That's what I see happening at safety. Tiger likes attractive women. What a trick. I know, exactly. When is this actually when Tiger Woods goes? Tiger Woods will never fully retire. He's the guy who's going to try to play the Masters every year for the rest of his life, and maybe even the Open Championship. I don't even think, honestly, he'll play on the senior tour. I think he'll think the senior tour is beyond him. He's going to work on coaching his son, Charlie. Charlie's going to become a very good golfer. Charlie Woods is not Bronny James. Charlie Woods actually has talent and is only 16 years old, 15 years old, 16 years old. So Tiger Woods is just going to do that. Tiger Woods is actually, from all intents and purposes, seems like a great parent. You know, to see video of him hanging out in the parent section. His daughter's a pretty high-end soccer player in high school right now. He's there in the parent section cheering on, just like everybody else. Pretty special. Good for you. I still have the loose women and alcohol issues. It's cool. I take it one time. Does your wife know about that, Big Al? Coming from the guy who didn't want Saquon, I 100% said that the Eagles should not spend $300 billion on Saquon Barkley. Yes. I said it. I also said, awesome, we got Saquon Barkley. He's the best running back in football. I just didn't see the value in spending that money. And see, this here is exactly why you don't overreact to the beginning of free agency. Because they plucked Zach Bond. They plucked Mekhi Becton. They got John Dye. They made all the adjustments necessary. They brought back Chauncy Gardner Johnson. I didn't want to sign Saquon because I thought we had bigger holes on this team. They still filled all those holes. That's why trading Chauncy Gardner, this is exactly why you don't overreact to the trade of Chauncy Gardner Johnson. Because there's a plan in place. It's going to play out over the whole offseason. And then, before week one, before we do our week one preview show on Thursday morning, because we're going to play Thursday night football to kick off the season, when we do our Thursday morning kickoff show, when we see the roster then, that's when we overreact or not. But not till then. Tiger Woods treats objects like women, man. Yeah. We got Bosa in your face now. He's on IR. He is on IR a lot. Baldinger wants Simmons on the Eagles badly. Saw an NFL. I would love to see Baldinger do one of his, I forget what he calls him, his offensive line video on Kenyon Green. See what he thinks of Kenyon Green. That would be something I'd like to talk to him about. I've tried to get Baldinger on here. He don't even respond to my messages. She is that loose woman. Oh, she is? Okay, gotcha. Phil will melt if he says rush. Really. We lost it. We went from 457 to 459. Now we're back to 458. What's up with that? What's going on? How dare that happen? I know. Talking golf for a minute, drop the sub. All I'm trying to do is build this, man. Phil, you're right on Barkley. We had no reason to think we would have the exactly. Look, we had holes at linebacker, safety, wide receiver, offensive line. We had holes all over the defense and offense. So Saquon Barkley's $30-some million. I thought we could have gotten a really solid linebacker and safety with that. We didn't know Cooper and Quinion. At this point, we didn't have Quinion and Cooper, so we needed cornerback help, Barbara. I just wanted the money to be spent elsewhere. But I overreacted. That's why I'm not overreacting now. I'm saying, all right, Chauncy Gardner-Johnson's traded. Sucks. Sure. We lost a key part of the defense. Sure. But he's not totally irreplaceable. It's also, technically speaking, free agency hasn't even begun yet because today is when it officially starts. So let's not overreact day one. Let's overreact in 3 months, 4 months, when the season kicks off. That's all I'm telling people. That's all I'm preaching. That's all I'm hoping for with this. Do the Eagles need to make more moves? 100%. Do the Eagles have a complete roster? Not at all. Will there be more additions? 100%. I know a lot of Eagles fans. Yeah, God bless Cooper DeJean. 100%. I know a lot of Eagles fans feel that these moves so far, Chauncy Gardner-Johnson, the eventual trade or cut of Dallas Goedert that's going to happen, means Howie's lurking for something big. That Howie's going to trade for some superstar or sign. I don't even know who the top free agent player period is out there right now. That Howie's going to make some big move. I don't see. Everyone's like, Howie's lurking. Howie's got something big on the horizon. I don't see anything big on the horizon. I don't see this team needs anything big on the horizon. This team is set, loaded with young talent all over it. The offense is returning pretty much everybody. Right now, we still have Dallas Goedert. So technically, we're going to have a new starting right guard. And it's probably going to be somebody in Tyler's team that's already been on this team. So the offense is returning 100%. And then maybe Dallas Goedert changes. Defensively, Carter, Ojomo, Davis, Nolan Smith, Alex Hunt, Zach Bond, Nakobe Dean, Trotter Jr., Quinion Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, Reed Blankenship. Literally, we're talking about 1 or 2 positions changing over and depth pieces. I don't see a huge, major move happening anytime soon. Trot Jr., maybe. I don't know. It depends on how Nakobe Dean's injury comes. I still think he's the third linebacker on the team. Always knew would be the chosen one. Maybe trade for Hendrickson. I don't know. This popped in my head yesterday, Barbara. They want a 3rd or 4th round pick for him or something like that. He's worth a lot of money. I don't know about Trey Hendrickson. Again, I would love Trey Hendrickson, but it would cost. Nolan Smith. You got Nolan Smith. Maybe you could find a way to put Bryce Huff in the deal to get Hendrickson, but you got Nolan Smith, Alex Hunt. Trey Hendrickson's a guy you don't rotate. The Eagles like to rotate their defensive ends. Vic Fangio likes his edge guys to be able to drop into coverage. Can Trey Hendrickson drop back and cover a tight end? Will he be willing to do that? All questions in my mind on the Trey Hendrickson idea or theory or thread. You got to think of not just the talent of the player, but also does the talent of the player fit into the system and style the Eagles are running. I'm tired too much in the last 5, 10, 15 years. Eagles have tried to put round pegs into square holes. I'm not positive that Hendrickson would fit the hole here in Philadelphia. 23-24 season collapse broke me. I wanted Sirianni fired. I was wrong. I said, Nick Sirianni, keep him. The guy's okay. I always admit, Jesse, if you're new to this show, you'll learn one thing. I have no fear in admitting my mistakes. All right, none. I admit, I brag how wrong I was on signing Saquon Barkley. I think more people on the radio, on YouTube, in the media, instead of doubling or tripling down on their mistakes or bad takes, need to admit it. It's not flip-flopping. It's evolving your opinion. It's realizing we're just spitfiring here. We're just speculating here. We're not in the team offices. We're not in the locker room. We're not at practice every day. They get paid the money to build these teams and develop these players. Pick the coaches. It's okay to be wrong. What's special is when you're willing to admit that you were wrong. What did I forget about Kenny Gainwell? I haven't forgotten about him. He's going. He's hopping on the turnpike, driving 4.5 hours west to Pittsburgh. Hope he enjoys those Permane Brothers trash sandwiches. Because, yes, Permane Brothers is trash. Hendrickson, best in free agency. He's not a free agent. He's available as a trade, but that's it. So, how many times I watched the Sopranos series? Too many times to count. Probably 5 or 6 times unedited on HBO. Probably another dozen or more times. It used to be a regular running on A&E. Sopranos is arguably one of the best shows of all time. Some days I put it 1. Some days I put it 2. Some days I put it 3. It's a fantastic show, The Sopranos. I love that Kenny Gainwell moved on. I mean, honestly, we don't know what the contract for Kenny Gainwell is with Pittsburgh, but we know it's to we know it's to give him an opportunity to play more, and it's more money than we would have spent. We're not going to spend $3, $4, $5 million a year on a backup running back. You're going to get rookie deals. While Saquon's here making the money he is, you're going to get rookie deal and not top-end rookies. You're going to get 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th round rookie deals, which are super cheap, at the backup running back position. And that's going to be the rotation for the next couple of years. Pine Barrens was an excellent episode. One of the best. Severance, so good. Haven't watched it yet. I'm excited to see Shipley next year. But again, what are you going to see out of Shipley? First off, Shipley better be ready to pass block. It's very important that you can pass block in this offense as a running back. Secondly, I mean, how many targets and touches did Kenny Gainwell have? He's basically just going to have that. Those little touches that Kenny Gainwell gets. So I'm excited to see him develop. But I'm also not really worried or good or bad or whatever. The only thing I will say, and we brought it up at the beginning of free agency, about Saquon Barkley's usage, running backs that touch the ball as much as Saquon Barkley did last year tend to have a downward tick the following year. Now, will they conserve him a little bit more? How Nick Sirianni said, no. We're still going to push him because we protect him and maintain him during practice in the offseason. But, we've seen running backs average over 5 yards a carry, then the next year dip to 3.5. So maybe we see a little touch more. But I don't know. 12 noon, it be official, son. Yeah, exactly. Free agency. We're freaking out, and free agency hasn't even begun yet. Yeah, the guy killed 16 Czechoslovakians. Wasn't he an interior decorator or something like that? I thought he was an interior decorator. There's a good safety from Georgia in the draft, along with Watts from Notre Dame. There's a lot of options. Absolutely. Oops, wrong one. Kenny G had 90 touches. The difference is Shipley is explosive, and Kenny wasn't at all. Kenny G's I think he was an underappreciated. Honestly, this is not, to stroke K1's ego at all. But Kenny Gainwell was an underappreciated, not underrated, underappreciated Eagle. I think there was some talent there. I think he deserves the right to start. I just think that it is what it is. He was always the second or third guy here. But he did his role well. He never complained. He never said, I want more touches and pound at the table. He never asked to be out because he wasn't having a bigger role. So I give credit to Kenny Gainwell for playing his role to perfection here in Philadelphia. Shipley is quietly really effing good. I mean, maybe, hopefully. Press X to doubt what? Kenny G was plenty explosive. See, the thing is, Mitchie Poo, we were at 10 away from your number. We lost this. We went from 457 to 459 back to 458. That's unacceptable. Gaining and losing subscribers in the same show. But yeah, please like. There should be well over 20 likes on this video. There should be more than 458 subscribers. But please like, subscribe, share, please. Jimmy boy, hope you are well this morning. In Howie we trust. I think that's kind of what we text back and forth about. Have faith that Howie's got a plan. Have faith that Howie's built 3 Super Bowl teams in 8 years. Have faith that he's won us in the last 8 years the only 2 Super Bowls in the franchise history. Yes, some of his moves are head scratchers. Yes, we don't have to just have blind loyalty to him. Yes, we can want another Super Bowl. But we can't overreact till we see the completed plan, till we can see the completed process. And guys, if you need a realtor in the Delaware Valley, check my man Jim out. That's his YouTube page. I'm sure you can find him right through his YouTube page. This is the guy that found me a house. He's a great guy, great friend. Love this guy right here. If you need a realtor, find this guy right here. Tomlin Steelers are starting to crumble. They haven't won a playoff game. The Steelers trade for DK Metcalf, and they don't even have a quarterback yet. Like, what's up with that? Like, we got to do a whole show just on the quarterback carousel around the NFL. I mean, the Browns have a better quarterback situation with Kenny Pickett than the Steelers do at this point. It's kind of crazy. And I don't know if he's starting to crumble. I think the whole organization is. I don't know who the GM is with Pittsburgh, but that whole organization is falling apart. Phil, you should adopt that put it monk look full time. I saw that comment. I did. I love hoodies, and I love having the hoodie pulled up. And I love the T-shirt hoodies, like the thin one, not the heavy hoodies, like the long sleeve T-shirt with the hood on the back. Love it. Love it. I've got so many of those kind of hoodies. They're my favorite kind of shirt to wear. It's just so comforting to have a hoodie pulled up over my head. Keep talking golf. What? I'll talk golf anytime I want. Aaron Rodgers to the Steelers, Aaron Rodgers to the Giants, Aaron Rodgers to where? Who cares? Aaron Rodgers sucks ass. Plain and simple. He is not a good football player anymore. He's done. He's toast. I hope he goes to Pittsburgh and ruins Pittsburgh. The guy is so bad. He don't care about anything but the money. And so one of the most selfish quarterbacks, selfish personalities out there. The Steelers signed a 42-year-old, totally washed Rodgers is nuts. Is he officially signed then? Has this officially happened? Because I haven't seen it yet. Just shows you Pittsburgh is a mess. They made the move yesterday because Howie trusts. Oh, what's up, Marshawn? Marshawn jumping in the final 20 minutes here. Howie trusts who he has. And Uncle Vic and Stoutland U. I honestly think this type of move is the new norm moving forward. I agree. 100%. 100% agree with this. Not a doubt in my mind. Shipley is Sproles white, maybe, and slow. Are the Rooneys losing it? I don't know. Maybe. No, but everyone. Okay. The way multiple people were saying, I thought maybe I missed it or something like that. Look, whatever team signs Aaron Rodgers is going to fail. Plain and simple. We're very pleased that the STT Sports First Lady is making a full recovery. Thank you very much, mister. We are all so grateful about that. So grateful. So happy. Love it. Best news a guy could ever get right there. I will say when that phone call rang and you knew it was the doctor's number, you kind of like, uh-oh. You know the results are incoming. Hope they're good. Shipley got a yard once, I think, maybe. You're right on Rodgers, Phil. That guy loves himself, and no, he's not on the Steelers as of this minute. Okay, yeah. Tortorella needs to be gone ASAP before he drives his team even more into the ground. The first, an hour and 9 minutes in, the first hockey question or comment of the day. Flyers are falling apart again. No surprise. Aaron Rodgers, he could be a Giant too. I think Starks falls, and if he's there at 25, Howie will pounce. Someone else, I think it was Dives, mentioned him earlier in the show as well as one of his top targets. Process of elimination, all the other coaching jobs are taken. Justin Simmons will be an Eagle today. I could see that. I could see that happening last year they waited too long and he went to Atlanta. This year I could see it happening right away. We're back up over 20 concurrent viewers again. So again, like, share, subscribe to everybody watching on the YouTube page. Please, I'd appreciate it. Please, like, share, subscribe. Please. KC freed up $50 million cap space today by restructuring Mahomes and Chris Jones. I'll read about them after the show. I did not see that before the show. So there you go. So they're going to be pouncing. My wife had a very intensive breast biopsy. We've been going through a 4-month process after a bad mammogram. This is a PSA. Everyone out there, the women, get your mammograms yearly. Don't push them off. If you have a woman in your life, make sure they get their yearly mammograms. Thankfully, my wife is very proactive, and everything was caught very early, and we got the call yesterday, no cancer. So we are very, very, very grateful. But it took 4 months to get to that point because I don't want to get political, but the medical system in this country and the insurance in this country is a pain in the ass. Shipley has very good acceleration, but not as shifty. Freed up. I got you. I knew what you meant. Mekhi Becton will be somewhere else today. I think he goes to the Steelers if Rodgers' signing is true. Maybe. I still think that Becton can be here. I think they want to be here. I would like Becton and Steen still, with Green as a developmental project. But if it's Steen and Becton goes elsewhere, again, have faith. Mahomes is the bank of KC. Yes. Thank you very much, Dante. I appreciate that. And thank you very much, Barb. It's been a very stressful 4 months. A lot of doctor's appointments, a lot of tests. Because, you can't just get things fixed right away, You got to drag things out as much as possible in this country when it comes to our health. But it's the PSA I'm putting out there on every social media thing. Get your mammograms regularly, please. You have to. It's so important. I don't think Becton will be here with Steen, Green, and the lineman we drafted last year. Yeah, I think the odds say no, but I think there is also a mutual interest in him staying here. I just think the price tag, you see what some of these guards are getting across free agency, and I just think Becton would be crazy not to cash in. He's got to cash in, right? Would I be disappointed? Yeah. I liked Mekhi Becton. But also Mekhi Becton had his flaws. Like, Mekhi Becton went from a bust to a really good player last year. But he was still the weak. Is it crazy to say that he was the weak link on the offensive line? Maybe Cam Jurgens. But no. Mekhi Becton was the weak link on the offensive line. You got to give Cam Jurgens his extension this offseason. So, Becton is, if you have faith in Tyler Steen and you have faith in what Jeff Stoutland does, then that means you have to have faith that Tyler Steen is ready to step in and perform. A fairly high draft pick that's been developing now for 2 years here. You have to have faith that he's ready to take that next step. Did you see this? Niners made an offer to Joey Bosa. He could have played with his brother, but instead he signed with Buffalo. TMZ, or whatever you want to call him, mentioned that he went to the Bills earlier in the show. All I know about Joey Bosa is when the Cuz used to say, Joey Bosa, on the radio all the time because, he's a whack job, Gargano. What is a surprise trade you have today for the Eagles? I think Howie, out of nowhere, trades for Trayvon Walker, a young, established-ish D-line. I think the surprises are going to be Dallas Goedert getting traded wouldn't surprise anybody. But that's the move. I don't think a Justin Simmons signing would surprise me. I don't see a Trayvon Walker. I don't see a Trey Hendrickson. I don't see Howie making any moves for any big-time players. We've got our team already. We've retained 80% of our Super Bowl championship team, maybe more. You've already spent the big money on Zach Bond and the Saquon extension. I see Howie. I don't even see Howie keeping a first-round pick this year. I see him trading back, getting a lot of young players in the draft and continue to develop. And then you tweak here and there. You add a Justin Simmons. You add this or that. But I don't see a single big-name player in a trade or free agency coming to Philadelphia. I wanted Zach Bond back. I hoped for Mekhi Becton. And that's it. You're going to tweak the edges of the roster. You're going to draft more developmental guys. And that's it. Josh Allen signed somewhere yesterday. It didn't make my page in the notebooks, though. He did sign somewhere, though, Marshawn. I forget where. We love the GOAT Bosa. Nick is the better Bosa. I don't see Hendrickson either. Yeah, I just think it's going to cost, not in the trade too much. I think it's going to cost too much in the salary. Look, we've got a lot of money to spend in the coming years. Howie is planning on Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith, even already Quinion Mitchell and Cooper DeJean, Cam Jurgens. He's planning on these guys' contracts. Hell, Reed Blankenship might get an extension or a renegotiation here soon in the next week or so. He's planning on that. And because of that, the big names can't come here. Maybe. I'm not going to try to pronounce his name, but maybe. We have done our healthy level of turnover. Now we need glue vets. Yeah, I mean, every team has healthy turnover. Did you know that the Bosa family is a part of the mafia family that runs Chicago? It's in Wikipedia. Their uncles are dangerous people. I mean, I don't trust everything on Wikipedia, but okay, all right. I will not be surprised if Howie signs Darius Smith and Ojulu. Maybe. Look, whatever it is, again, whoever he signs, trades, brings in, I'm not going to underreact or overreact to any of them. I'm going to have patience. I'm going to wait to see the big picture. I'm going to wait to see the whole picture. I'm going to wait till all the salary cap information is officially updated. Because one of my biggest pet peeves right now, every year, is the amount of people that claim to be cap experts. And this player saves this much, or that player saves that much, or they're this much in cap space, or that much. Nobody, no content creator actually has any effing clue how the cap works and what contracts are. So until I see the official updates, I'm not going to know. I'm not going to overreact. Wait till week 1. And then we can overreact. Oh, God, we got torched on week 1 because our safeties suck. All right, now we can overreact to Chauncy Gardner Johnson getting traded. That's when we react. Shipley, 4,200 all-purpose yards in college, almost 1,000 kick return yards. Dude is incredible, versatile. Anybody that thinks this kid doesn't have speed and shiftiness is uninformed. I think he's a good player, but I don't think it matters if he's a good player or not because he's behind Saquon. He's going to have 80, 90 touches. That's it. That's nothing. 4 or 5 a game. I like Gainwell and all, but Shipley is going to be way better. I don't think it matters if he's going to be way better. He's going to be just like Gainwell, a guy that barely touches the football, Rick, because you have Saquon. You're paying him to be your bell cow. The only way Shipley or Gainwell, if he would have stayed here, gets any attention or touches is if Saquon gets hurt. That's it. Bengals are in trouble if and when Burrow loses patience. I would be shocked if that doesn't happen soon. It is, which is crazy because everyone says he has no weapons, but he's had Jamar Chase and T. Higgins for how many years now? The problem is they build teams improperly. They build teams backwards. A lot of teams build teams. Look, Pittsburgh's building a team backwards right now. Nobody's following the Eagles' way of doing things. Draft young guys. Develop the trenches. Add around. The Bengals are in trouble. But I don't want to hear that he doesn't have talent. I still think he has another surprise. Not talking Goddard trade either. I'd be shocked. I would be surprised with a Bryce Huff trade, honestly, Marshawn. Because if he finds a way to get off of Bryce Huff and free up all that money, that would be shocking to me. So that would be the shock to me. This is the NFL, not college. Very good point. Very good point. Eagles had interest in Justin Reed. Yeah, exactly. I heard somebody report that they offered $22 million guaranteed for him, and he went to the Saints instead. You are so right. Seeing him take that run 70 yards against the Commies is something that Kenny G can never do. Anybody can take a wide open field like that. Despite his size, he can get tough yards. He uses his low center of gravity. See, I knew what COG meant. Very well fits in the holes, she said. It does matter because he's way more like Saquon, not Gainwell. He will be Saquon's eventual replacement. I don't know if he'll be Saquon's replacement in 3 years, Rick, because in 3 years his rookie contract will already have passed. He's got 3 years. In 3 years, he'll be a free agent. How about we look at it that way? Bengals awful O-line and horrible defense. Exactly. So you can't build a team when you build it backwards. You can't have a successful team when you build it backwards. I wish we could get rid of Huff. That would make my exactly like. Look, I think there's a chance that he can have a redemption story. I don't know, but that contrast is an albatross, and the money in it is crazy. Can the Eagles find a way to move that contract? That would then free up. K1 thinks a big move's happening. Trading Bryce Huff frees up some money to make that big move. I just don't know who would take that contract on and Bryce Huff on. I think Huff and one of them young guys, maybe Shipley or Steen, are packaged for a trade. You think Steen? You don't think Becton's coming back, but you think you could trade Steen as well? Like, I'm not starting Kenyon Green at right guard right off the bat. That would be a big move. Now that right there, Marshawn, would be a shock right there. Big Dom on the headset with Slay at the moment. Yeah, maybe he is. Big Dom already convinced Slay to come back once. Maybe he convinces him to come back again. Howie will have extended Shipley before he becomes a free agent. We'll see. Maybe. The Bosa's brother's grandfather is Tony Big Tuna Ricardo from the Chicago Outfit Crime Boss. See, I learned something new from you every day, Mister, and I love it. No chance Shipley gets traded. I know you love Shipley, Rick, but again, maybe. I don't know. Happy Wednesday, Chet. How you doing? Guys, check out Philly Press Box Radio tonight, 7 p.m., right here on the STT Sports Network. Huge special guest, Glenn Macnow, formerly of WIP, will be on the show with Chet and Bill. Make sure you tune in. I'm sure there'll be lots of fun talk with him and maybe some beer talk because, obviously, Glenn Macnow loves his beer as well. So make sure you tune in tonight. Philly Press Box Radio right here. Set the notifications on with Chet, Bill. They're going to be talking about it all. Fat Dom undercover in the chat. Maybe. Howie loves Shipley. He's the next Saquon. If I have to include Shipley to get off the Bryce Huff contract, sorry, Rick, I do it. Howie already has Steen's offer, and they just waiting on him. And if he signs, then Steen could very well Becton's offer, yeah, could very well be packaged. I have no idea what's going on. All I know is Luka went for one. Yeah, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, anything can happen in any sport if Luka Doncic gets traded for one first-round pick. It's crazy. Shipley would be in the same position Gainwell was in. He would get touch to give. Yeah, exactly. Glenn wishes he was on my craft beer show level. Yeah, that's true. I'm sure you've got a wide knowledge there. But unfortunately, Rick, a lot more people know Glenn Macnow's name than Rick Berman's name, or Beerman's name. Just so you know. I prefer to listen to you than Glenn Macnow, but Glenn Macnow's still a well-known, long-time veteran, famous guy in the media world in Philadelphia. Well-respected guy. So, again, tonight, Glenn Macnow on the show tonight. Maybe you should bring a beer question to the chat tonight, Rick, okay? Shipley is a 4.37 guy. He got chased down on that Washington play because he stopped pumping the arm and protected the ball. That was a smart move, by the way. The Eagles ran the ball 600 times because of Hurts and Barkley, not Gainwell. That's true. One first-round pick for a generational talent is robbery wrapped in a heist, and everyone looked at it. There's some shady goings-ons. The league stepped in and canceled that Chris Paul trade. They didn't step in and cancel this one. The league stepped in and forced us to fire Sam Hinkie. Did not step in on that one. Just goes to show LeBron James runs the league. Guys, again, we're pushing 30 concurrent viewers again on YouTube, guys. Please like, share, subscribe. We're coming up to the final 5 minutes of the show today, but I need y'all to like and subscribe and to share this show out. Guys, I need that. If everybody watching shared this show out once today and said, please subscribe and listen, we'd blow this show up. This show would be booming so quickly. Glenn should bring beer questions. I love it, Rick. I love you, my man. Love that comment. Great value, absolutely. Can they step in and fire more? I wish. I hope. I'm begging for it. I need it so bad. It's got to happen. So nobody got fired after that trade, and saying that everyone was in on that robbery. Something shiesty going on there in Dallas and LA. Obviously. Something shiesty. And then instantly, one day later, Anthony Davis is hurt for the year. Make it make sense, Marshawn. There's no making sense of anything in the NBA. That's why it's the heart of the NBA season. We're 18 games left till the playoffs. And you know what we're talking about? Free agency, baseball, hockey, golf have all had time on this show today. And basketball didn't come up till the final 5 minutes. That's how bad the NBA is right now. Not just the Sixers, the NBA. Can they step in? Yeah, Tortorella. He'll get fired this offseason. NBA is fraudulent on every level. I like, even if the Sixers finish with like the 4th or 5th worst record, I don't think we get a lottery pick because I think they rig it. Everything's rigged in the NBA. That's why I barely watch it. It's why I barely bet it anymore. Actually, I don't bet it at all. NBA is trash. It's March Madness. Unfortunately, Dante, I won't cover much of March Madness. We'll go probably over the bracket a little bit once it's released. I'm not a big college basketball fan anymore. I used to be a diehard. I just kind of lost my love for college basketball. Ran out of time. There's too much going on in life. So college basketball, college football have kind of taken a back seat for me. But March Madness is still great. Trying to come up with a March Madness bracket is something. TV shows, movies. I don't know. We'll see. That Luka trade had a lot of inside people. It had a lot of something. LeBron James ruined the NBA. Maybe. Very possible. Very possible that happened. NBA rigs everything. Won't watch it anymore. That league will eventually implode. Rick, you know I've been talking about that for a year now. That the NBA is going to go into a massive, major lockout when the next CBA is up. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. NBA let the inmates run the assignment. Doesn't change. It will be a bigger problem. It's already a big problem. You want me to do a beer march, man? Beer is so subjective, though. Like, I could come up with 64 beers, and someone would name 64 beers that I missed. So that'd be very tough to do a beer March Madness bracket. But maybe you should do that, and I'll help you with it. NBA was in on the Howard and Bynum trade. We were sold snake oil. NBA rigged Cavs a long time ago. Boring. Cavs are boring. Philadelphia was trying to get an WNBA franchise. That'd be nice. The WNBA team would be probably just as bad as the Sixers team because Josh Harris would probably have his hand in on that too. And I don't trust Josh Harris to save my life. Guys, we got to start the wrap-up process here. It's time to say goodbye. Tomorrow, I'm sure there'll be lots more news around the NBA today. I have thought about this, Mitchie Poo. The problem is if I do this, then I got to leave myself off the list. And I don't want to leave myself off the list. So I'd be so like, I do it, put myself in like the middle of the bracket somewhere. I don't know. I've thought about doing March Madness bracket challenge of content creators. I really did. All day IPA, good bar. I'm a big fan for a cheap IPA. All day IPA is a good cheap IPA. The NBA is not prison and players yet. Real quick, fire through these last. Thank you, Judd. Thank you very much, Barbara. I appreciate you the last couple days tuning in. I can't do a March Madness of Eagles content creators if I and not leave myself off of it. But yet that would be kind of like stuff in the ballot box. Like I'd put myself 1-on-1 versus Mitchie Poo, just so I could crush him in the first round. I'm a Sixers content creator too. I'm an everything content creator. I create all kinds of content. That's what I do. But I would have to leave myself off. I don't know. Anyway, guys, like, share, subscribe. Chauncy Gardner-Johnson traded from the Eagles to the Houston Texans for Kenyon Green. That was the big news of the day that we talked about today. What will tomorrow bring? Who knows? But I'm sure it will bring something. And I'm sure that, it's going to be a busy day with Eagles news and NFL news. And we are going to talk a little bit about the quarterback carousel around the NFL as well tomorrow. Thank you very much. Yes, we are all very good. That's the theme of the day. My positivity reigns true because my wife is in good health, that she got the best news possible. And it's just the outpouring of support from people on social media has been, look, tear in the eye. It's been amazing. So this is a great way to end the show right here. Yeah, I saw that too. It's a great way to end the show right here. So we're gonna end it right there. Everybody have a fantastic Wednesday. Back tomorrow, 8 a.m. We'll see you tomorrow, guys. Thank you very much, Chet. I appreciate that. Everybody have a great day. Tune in 7 p.m. tonight. Press Box Radio, guys. Go Birds. Bubbles up.
Pop, 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 julep. Pop, 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 julep. Pop, 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 julep.